So I was in prayer the other day and I was asking God about my bloodline. I have the most questions about my bloodline because I'm so curious as to why so many things happen, right? I'm just going to leave it like that. So I'm always asking God for clarity, understanding, wisdom, knowledge, because if you don't understand the past, you will not be able to handle the future. So with that being said, I was in prayer and he was telling me that I'm not a product of my environment, right? So I know everybody has pretty much heard that before. Like, you're not a product of your environment, blah, 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 blah. I've always associated with that, like, your environment, where you grew up, your neighborhood, your peers, what school you went to, blah, 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 right? And yes, that's exactly what it means. But what the Lord was telling me when he said you're not a product of your environment, he was telling me, like, you're not like everybody else in your family. The environment, my family, I'm not a product of my environment. I am completely different from everybody in my family prior to me. Anybody comes after me, we're all one. But prior to me, I am not a product of that. Although I came from the same family, I'm not a product of it. I was just so shocked because it is the truth. It is so true. And I never would have looked at it like that until Holy Spirit had gave me revelation. And I just thought that was so powerful because although you can come, what they said, you could be cut from the same cloth. That's what it was. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but basically, like, where I came from, I do not identify. So it makes sense as to why those people do not like me. It makes sense to add why I was an outcast. It just, so much stuff is starting to make sense. And I'm not gonna touch base on it now. I'm gonna have to make a longer video about this, but what he was telling me that I was saying I need to break it down is that God waited on you. That's, I don't know how, what I'm gonna title it as, but he was telling me he waited on you. He sat back and bought his time when it came to your bloodline. There were certain things that he allowed to happen and to transpire until you came into the picture. God knew that you were going to be the one. And the reason why you were the one is you sought him at a young age. You knew him as a child, whereas though there were so many other people who had the same opportunity that did not seek him wholeheartedly. He wants someone who is faithful. He wants somebody who is going to come to him regardless regardless of, let me say this, your shortcomings. None of us are perfect. There's not one person that's out there that's perfect. I don't care how well they dress, what their title is, how much money they have. None of that stuff is relevant when it comes to the Lord. Nobody is holy and nobody is that pure where they have not sinned. And what I'm saying is, no matter how much we have sinned, no matter how many things that we thought we done wrong, no matter how many times that we knew that God would not be happy with us, we were still faithful to him. We still went to him. We did not turn our back on him. And even if we did turn our back shortly, for a temporary time, you went right back. You knew, okay, I feel this separation. I don't like this separation. I need to go right back. You went back to God. And that's why he blessed you abundantly in terms of your foundation. And when I'm talking about your foundation, that means you and anything that comes after you. So yeah, I just thought that was so powerful. If you have had problems with your bloodline, if you always question certain things and why you were so different from them, just know you're not a product of your environment.